Well, hello. Today I'm here. Oh, by the way, I'm Carole Freeman. I am here with Pennie. She is one of the amazing clients that I got to work with over the last year, and she is here to tell her story of before keto and the experiences she had and the transformation she's been experiencing too. So, welcome, Pennie. And so, will you share a little bit about who you are?
My name is Pennie, and I am a 64-year-old grandmother, mother, and keto enthusiast.
Ooh, I love that now.
I really think that I could be on this way of eating for the rest of my life. It's so easy once you understand it, and I just love it. But I'm sorry, I forgot the question
Oh, it's
already.
okay. You're doing great. I know that it can be, video interview feels intimidating, but you're doing great.
Okay.
So let's just go back to, before keto, before you discovered keto, what was your story of struggles with health and weight? Where are you coming from?
Well, I got married at 19, and the first year I was married, I gained 100 pounds.
Okay.
And that continued. It's a long and ugly story about I'm sure there's hundreds of people out there that have the same story. I would go on a diet, lose, then go off and gain, and then gain more. So that continued until I was well over 500 pounds. And I can say over 500 pounds because I at that time couldn't find a scale that would go above 500. I just know I was at least 500. And then when I was about 45 years old, a dear friend of mine was starting a Bible study, and it was weight related. And I didn't want to do it. I went kicking and screaming because at that time, my big mantra was, I can't go on a diet because every time I go off, I gain even more. So I was scared to go on a diet. So she really encouraged me to come. I went, changed my whole thought, but mostly it changed my whole life support wise. I think what I learned, the biggest thing I learned with that was I can't do it alone. I don't think most people who have a huge amount of weight to lose, or even a few pounds, if they're having a struggle with it, you need support. So that was the big thing I got from the Bible study. That group remained together for about 20 years. And we supported each other through the whole thing. In that group, we each chose our own diet. It wasn't a set eating plan. And I chose South Beach. I had heard a lot about low carb, and so I tried South Beach, lost about 200 pounds, but then stalled, just completely stalled. And no matter what I could do for about a year, I wasn't able to lose. So one of my doctors suggested that I try a lap band, which I did, was successful for me. But after about a year and a half or 2 years, the lap band started giving me a lot of gastric troubles. And I struggled with the gastric troubles for about a year and a half, and finally decided, this is no way to live. And so I had them disband the band. I still have it, but it doesn't function. And then immediately, started gaining weight. Gained about 50 pounds, and the whole time I was just getting more scared and scared. Tried Weight Watchers. Finally, I said, okay, I'm going to go back to South Beach because I was successful there. And I was successful for 7 or 8 pounds. But what I now know is it just was too many carbs for me. I was just, I just don't do well with that. My daughter, who is a real whole life person, whole eater, said she had been doing some research on keto and suggested I look into it. So I did. I looked into it. Totally was like my head was spinning, turning around, going crazy. Like this has got to be wrong. I've all my life been taught that you just don't eat that much fat and it's bad. And the whole lean, mean me was like going crazy. But I started to wrap my head around it. the more I read, the more confused I got because there's so much conflicting stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the programs just make it confusing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried it, put my foot in the water and tried it and lost some weight, but I never felt comfortable. I mean, I think I lost maybe 7 or 8 pounds. I just, every day was, am I doing this right? Am I in ketosis? What am I doing? So finally, that's when I said, I need someone who can help me, and did some research and found Carole, found you. And that was an amazing step for me. Your program makes keto so much simpler, so much more understanding. I love the way you take it step by step and you kind of wash it all away and then bring it back in. And for me, that was the perfect formula.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing all of the details of your past. There's going to be so many people that will identify with that. And I mean, truthfully, so many of us women have tried every diet out there. And for decades, this has been a struggle in trying to figure out. And I love actually that you came to the realization that diets were making you gain more weight.
Yeah.
Most people don't get that far. They actually think that, well, that diet worked really well because I lost weight, but they ignore what happened afterwards. And so they blame the after on themselves, but you were wise enough to realize it was the diet that was actually leading to that.
Trying. I did keep trying for a long time, but then, it is what it is. I kept telling myself, and what I learned in those years was I always thought I didn't have enough willpower. And what I learned in that time was that I had too much willpower. My bad willpower was overtaking my good willpower. And that's what I love about keto. There really is no willpower needed. Once you get in ketosis, there's not someone screaming in your head, I want that ice cream, I want this, I want that, because I just don't crave anything.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, let's talk about the results. So you went through my program, which is several weeks. We'll just say that, and then so what results did you see during your time working with me?
Well, physically, I lost I think I ended up losing around 20 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds in the time that I was in the actual boot camp. But mostly, and I lost a lot of inches. I could look in my journal, but I think totally I lost like 15 or 16 inches overall. A lot of them around my waist, which was the best part for me. But mostly I gained an understanding of the program. I think the resources were one of the keys. It helped me really understand macros, and some of the other programs I looked at put so much emphasis on the macros. I was like, oh my God, I'm a percentage off here, and oh dear, oh that. And you just laid that out and said, look, just eat this way and it falls naturally. And you were so right about that. And all this stuff about I have to have butter coffee and I have to have fat bombs, and I was taking in calories that I didn't really need just because, oh my gosh, I've got to do this. And you just simplified it. The program simplified it for me, making it just so much easier to say, I don't have to make this huge recipe. I can just have some roast beef and a salad. Just making it simple really helped tremendously. I really enjoyed the weekly meetings and talking to other people. That again, the support is such a key to me, and I think helps anyone be so much more successful.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so the support, the resources that I've got, the community that you found, just simplifying it too. So you're talking about, I've got the meal formula that you follow that makes it really, really easy. It's not about having to do all that math and percentages and trying to get enough fat and all these other things that can be really crazy making too. Right. So yeah, all right.
Another thing that was very helpful for me, and I had been using an app, a different one, a couple of different ones. They made me even more confused. Chronometer is a great tool. It takes a bit to learn it, but it's a really great tool. So I really enjoyed learning that and relying on it as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So, what would you, let's see, what would you say to somebody that's kind of considering, like, should I try to do keto on my own, or they're struggling and they're considering getting a coach for some help, or maybe considering, program one of our programs working with us?
Right. Of course, you have to know your own personal finances. You have to know your own personal, what's best for you and your priorities. But if it is feasible, it's the best money I've ever spent. And, unfortunately, you have to go there. That's just, sometimes as women, especially those in my generation, we forget to put the importance of our health and ourselves on the list and make it a priority. So that would be my first thing is, of course, everyone knows their own situation, but that is a great thing to do, is put it on your list. And if you were raised as I was raised, this is such a turnaround for the way of thinking. And it's so hard to really wrap your head around it. Getting a professional that points it out and lays it out and tells you, yes, it's okay to eat better. It's okay to, do this and that. And so I would mostly say, do it for yourself. It's the best thing I've done for myself probably in 50 years. And, I just feel so good, and my mental health. Was so tired of beating myself up, and I don't have to do that anymore. And that is a big, big thing.
Oh, I love that, Penny. That's so huge. And I love that you're sharing too about how women are conditioned that we just should be able to figure it out all on our own. We gotta, we're told we can have it all, but really it means we need to do it all. And so what was that experience then like? Putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, experiencing this transformation, how has that rippled out and affected those around you?
Well, you should probably interview my husband about that. But I just, I think that old saying that you see on T-shirts or on placards and stuff that say, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. And I think it's true.
Yeah.
Happiness is such a trickle down. And when you are beating yourself up or dissatisfied with mostly your mental health, but the way you look too, if your people feel it, and especially if you're close to your people, even if you are hiding it a little bit, they can tell. And that just puts a lot of tension and stress in any situation you have. So basically, I think if you asked anyone who knows me closely, they are saying, yeah, this is a kinder, more gentle, and easier person to be with.
Oh, wonderful. So taking care of yourself actually does take care of everyone else even better then.
Just as they say, it's not always easy to believe, but I believe it is true.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Penny, thank you so much for sharing your story. Is there anything else that you wanted to share, or you wanted me to ask about, to share with others?
No, just again, I would like to emphasize the support that you get from as I said again before, support is so huge for me. That's why I'm very enthusiastic to be with this group. I incidentally live in an RV and travel around all the time, so I can't go to a support meeting every week or that kind of thing. So virtually is the best for me. And the fact that we're all of one like mind, one like keto mind is huge.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Wonderful. And I just thought of one more question too. What would you say about somebody that might be a little intimidated about this all being virtual and the technology side of this? How was that experience for you?
That, I can see why, especially someone in my generation might have some issues with that. It's all very simple. It's just a click of a button push on here, and the chats that was in, I mean, the chat room that we did. What's it called?
The video platform.
Yeah, the Zoom.
Yeah.
Very easy. For some reason, this particular interview, which never happened before, went into my junk mail. So I didn't see it at first, but they always just came to my email before, because I happened to look in my junk mail and it was there. But that, and Facebook is pretty user-friendly. They don't get much more user-friendly than Facebook until recently, when you have to do all that following. But yeah, so that was a great thing too, is talking to other people, finding stuff on Facebook. I think, you know, as long as it's an easy format, which Zoom seems to be and Facebook is, it's a good thing for any age. You just have to have your computer.
And we've got the support. Did you feel supported too, that if you were struggling with anything, there was somebody that could?
Yeah, in fact, I think one of your assistants was communicating with me about it. I don't even remember now what our concern was, but something I couldn't get to, and the workbooks and all of that. That's great. I just left mine all on the computer, but it's all such wonderful things to be able to go back to. And when I have okay, guys, was that sweetener okay on keto? And then I got my list, and so that's a great resource as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Pennie, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story, transformation, and congratulations on putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, and all the credit goes to you for all the work that you've done. And I'm so excited to be able to share this and inspire others, and the waves of us, getting this message out. We just never know how many people that we're going to be able to impact and be able to transform their lives as well. So
it's great and exciting on my end as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.